Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. I'm Lenda Murray, 8 times Ms. Olympia, and you are watching Olympia TV. Thank you for joining us. And we have a great conversation today. So excited to have our 3-time Ms. Olympia Fitness, Missy Truscott, joining us.
Hello, guys.
Yay.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I
Yes.
can't wait to get into everything. This is like very exciting times.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, I'm sure. I'm so sure that it is. And we have the best 8 times Miss Olympia Fitness, Adela Garcia.
Woo, woo, woo.
The goat of fitness.
Yes. And Wendy Fortino, IFBB Figure Pro.
Sexy mama.
What up, guys?
Yeah.
So guys, we have 19, right?
We have 19. Yeah, that's right.
And 19 titles.
18, 19.
Oh my goodness.
Titles.
Oh, yeah, 16 because I called you and I 16, and then we're missing out 19. Yeah,
That's crazy.
wow. That's pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
so much has
amazing.
happened. I mean, the last time, Missy, that we all met and we had a conversation, I'm not so sure. It was a good amount of time before the Olympia.
Yeah.
But, just to imagine that a year ago, you were on stage. For those that don't know, but I'm sure everybody out there knows, you were on stage to defend your title, and you had a mishap, and so you weren't able to get through that. So it's so exciting to hear how your challenges, how your win and your return. I mean, we had that conversation, and you did it. You're 3 times Ms. Olympia Fitness.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, I am like just so over the moon. It was such a long recovery. And when I spoke to you guys earlier in the year or into the Olympia prep, honestly, I was still on the fence. I was still praying every day, like, I hope I can make this. I signed the contract. It was a go. I wanted to show up for, my supporters and my fans and everything, and to prove to myself I could do it. I would have weekly conversations with Adela. She'd be like, come on, mama, you got this. Like, everything's going to be okay. Trust your body. But also, like, when you're going through it, it's really, really hard mentally to trust your body.
I'm gonna wait for your routine. I'll took that down.
Oh, okay. No worries. It was just so difficult mentally to like trust myself too.
Mhm.
And I was putting so much pressure and stress on myself that, I don't know, like the last 3 weeks, I actually developed a stutter. Like, I was so like,
Wow.
it was so nothing I've ever experienced before. But, as when I got to Vegas, I felt like a weight lifted off of me. And then when I actually did the routine, that like, you see it when I land on the ground, I was like, like I could finally breathe. And it felt so good.
Mhm.
But
I just
Wow. Yeah, and talking
my
about
gosh.
baby steps, I mean, just watching you making those little few jumps, like small steps at a time to go to come back and do this.
right.
Yeah.
It's so emotional to watch you do this routine because, well, first of all, you came to the stage, and Adela was talking about this last week, but there's a trauma there, right? So, this routine, this outfit, this, everything, this is the spot where you're like, yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, for you to overcome this, I don't think anyone could truly comprehend what type of mental fortitude it takes to come back from not just an injury, but the all year rehabbing, and probably like the loneliness you must have felt, like the isolation you must have felt, You know, people don't see those parts of it. They just see the victory and all the stuff that goes from last year to this year. Like that's the part that it's like so hard for me to wrap my head around, you getting through all that and then landing here. So tell us a little bit about that like in between phase and like how you got through all of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. And I know Adela, she's gone through pretty much the same thing. When I was in that recovery phase, I totally isolated myself from everyone. I just had to really focus on me. So now I'm trying to, rebuild those like friendships, rekindle things with my friends who are in the area, because I was very just to myself because I had to focus on getting better. So yeah, there were some times where like my husband and I can joke about it now, but I would literally just like totally disconnect from everything, social media, YouTube, everything. And I would sit in our little movie room and I would just crochet. And he was like, I am living with a zombie. Like, what the hell is going on? But I needed to just kind of go through that process myself. And you know what? Like, I'm glad it happened because I've learned so much about me as a person and like what, like my strength. And I've totally matured too in certain ways. And I'm really grateful for the position I'm in now.
So
I think
you
an
and Adela
injury.
I was going to say Adela connected at some point. So Adela, tell us about that.
So when Missy and I connected way back, actually when I was thinking about doing a comeback, it was the girl that was doing her music, I believe. She said, Missy talks a lot about you because when I retire, I feel like everybody forgot about me, and Linda, we know like your phone stopped ringing, you don't get messages because you're not longer, that top person anymore. So and the girl is actually, she messaged me. She's like, Missy, she thinks a lot great thing about you. I'm like, really? Because I always like, I'd be looking at her. I'm like, okay, she's great. And I said, okay, I think I could probably think about doing a comeback when I heard that Oksana was coming back. And it was something that kind of helped me out to get out of the funk that I was. And we started messaging each other. I asked her if she could come and get posts on my show. And I think it was after me deciding to do a comeback. And then when I decided I was going to do it, I mean, I was infatuated with Missy. And I had dreams with her. I even messaged like, because this is the girl, like I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh my God, she's amazing. She's gorgeous. She has everything. Her physique is incredible. I'm like, and I'm always looking at her and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can deal with this. I don't think I can compete against that. I'm just being completely honest because I think she had won the Arnold too. And we're like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, and I decided, my body went that my shoulder was a mess. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. And we actually got together at the women's workshop. And from there, like we have become such a good friends. And I love Missy. And the crazy thing is that, I have gotten so much respect from Missy than from any other competitors overall. Like, and it's just, she is showing me she's the top one, and she's showing me that, hey, you are the GOAT. You should be a person that we need to look up to. And that was like, I'm like, I mean, just like, you know what, Team Missy. And honestly, when that happened, I said, I might lose some other girls liking me, but you know what? I love all the fitness girls because I know how hard it is. But at the same time, I think we all need to be together instead of like this weirdness that it happens backstage whenever you're winning all the time. The girls, they don't want to see you win. So her and I, and the craziest thing, she sponsored the fitness show. I mean, she said like she put $6,000. She came to the show. She made this amazing trophy that she went above and beyond to make my show like even better that year. And, you know, after that, then like that freaking injury happened. Like I went to the Olympia for her. I got this spray. I even sent her my outfit. I said, you didn't get to see me. I was, and then it's like, and the funniest thing is like, I also got injured too. The same thing, the ACL.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, Missy, you know what? You need to do a video about this. You need to do a video like, and I have sent her my video that I did whenever I came back from the injury. And, you know, she's watching, and then like, I mean, I'm sorry, like I didn't put a voodoo on you, so don't. Well, but you know, like that's incredible. But we had just connected so much through all that because I knew what she was going through. And when she got to the Olympia, I remember like writing her this message, and I sent it to her. And it was so important for me for her to know that it was okay. Like you got this. You know, it's that you already went through the whole. And she sent me a picture of her body, and I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, I know her body's insane.
I said, but you don't even look like anything happened. Like I don't.
Right.
I know. Actually, okay, Missy.
And to really
Missy,
speak on that in regards to the body, like I sat in the audience at this year's Ms. Olympia next to Alina Popa. And so, you know, you guys have that challenge where you have the physique that's being judged and this presentation, your posing, your
routine,
your performance.
Yeah.
So sitting there, Alina and I, we were looking to quad. Like, you know what I mean? And like, guys, if you guys don't really understand, like with figure, it's really like you guys, what are there? There's two poses in figure, right?
That's the quarter four.
There are three.
Okay, so, you guys, can I just address the elephant in the room? I need to address the elephant in the room. Okay, and Missy, this is a burning question. We're getting questions about this right now. And I really want to know too. People are just blowing us up about this. All right. Are you the $1 million question?
Yeah.
Are you coming to figure? Because everybody wants to know. And Dave Palumbo made a post about this too. So go for it. Tell us the deal. What's the deal?
Yeah, you know, so I actually competed in figure back in 2018 because I wasn't getting, Wendy, you and I did the Upper Midwest. That was the first time I met you. Yeah. And then I got your posing package. Do you remember?
You were.
Oh, that's good.
You were incredible. I was just like in awe. Yeah, you were amazing.
Yeah. So I did my run in 2018 because at the time I wasn't placing well in the fitness division. I mean, I was, you know, doing basically a gymnastics routine. So similar to like what Taylor does. My physique was, you know, I was getting in the first call out, but I wasn't, you know, getting that 1 and 2 finish. So my husband was like, you know, let's go to figure, like, let's have fun, try it out. So I did the Upper Midwest and I placed second there behind Natalia Sortero. She just was top Olympia gal. And then I did Kentucky Muscle and placed third.
Wow.
Right behind, I can't remember. All I remember is I placed third, and not to knock.
That's huge.
Yeah, I remember beating Heather Dees, and I thought to myself, like, oh man, okay, this is top girl. Like, this is really cool. But then, you know, I did the figure route, and then I was like, okay, let me try fitness one more time. Like, let's see what happens at Olympia. And I ended up placing second to Whitney. Arguably, I probably should have won, but I can say that now. I think there were a few of those. But then I
put it out there.
So yeah, I thought, you know what, let's keep riding this out. Like, I love fitness. And I'm glad I stuck with it, because the following year was my first Olympia win, at 30 years old. So 30, I can't remember, but
you're still a baby.
33.
Yeah, when you can tumble like that,
Yeah,
you get to forget. You get to forget.
You won your first Olympia at 33?
Yes. Yeah. 33. Yeah.
See, this is too much, because we like got something going on, girl. I won my first Olympia at 33 as well.
You guys have so
I'm
much
serious.
in common.
Like, yes, I won my first Olympia at 33. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We do have a lot in common. It's kind of scary. Like,
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
so so you're still
And
taking
that's
it on.
another word to put out there to the people out there, to all the athletes, because you think and assume that you need to be 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And you guys you got better and better with age, right?
Yeah.
And 33 is young. Trust me, it's young.
Yes.
Okay, but Missy, we're still on the journey with you. I'm still we're still chugging along here. Okay,
She wants
so
to
you
know
get
about
your
a figure
titles.
thing.
All right, we're still chugging.
oh,
And
right.
then what?
Okay. So, yeah. So 2018, I did the figure, stuck out with fitness, love fitness. I will not be applying to the Arnold this year for fitness. I need to grow my leg and, keep practicing fitness skills. But right now, I'm happy with fitness. It's my home. I'm going to stay there a little bit longer. But, we'll see what happens. I feel really good about like where I'm at mentally. And, I love bodybuilding. I love training hard. So I do think there is now, with Sid retiring, there is going to be some changes in the figure division.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to see what happens. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but, the fitness and figure is marked the exact same way. So there's no difference. So,
Right.
I'm qualified for Fitness Olympia, which I'll be doing. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was so impressive. Just the fact that your physique, you were on point. It was clear, like you won the physique round, and you did an excellent job of rehab and rebuilding. And I really couldn't see. I mean, if there's a difference as far as in the development in that quad and that leg, I could not see it, and I was looking.
Yeah.
You were looking. Everybody was looking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was looking, and you did it.
Yeah.
You put the glasses on, checking like everything, like you.
Yes.
Right. I was getting like screenshots. People would screenshot my YouTube video and compare it. Like, oh, her leg isn't growing. Oh, it is growing, and so yeah, I was like very hesitant on what I was showing online because, like I told you guys, I wasn't even sure if I could do it.
Yeah.
So,
well, it looks pretty even to
that.
me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. That's
amazing.
Excellent. So what did you do? How did you, as far as like your weight training?
Yeah.
Just a little bit on that.
It was so difficult because my knee was still recovering. Like I still to this day, I'm like 60%. My leg is not at all at 100.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of work needs to be put in still. But I was just trying to do the more or less like machines. And I was doing like super light because I was in a deficit, obviously, for dieting from the show and having to do cardio and everything and super low calories. So I was doing like leg extensions with 10 pounds and in so much pain. Like it sucked.
Wow.
But now I'm able to like eat, train a little bit harder. I still wear my knee brace when I do legs and do fitness, just because that stability, like if your knee is like this, the lateral movements, I still want to have that like security, and mentally too. So I wear my brace. It just feels better, but I'm doing legs now twice a week. And, I'm just trying to build up my glute and, get the hamstring and quad a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is
I
the
thought your
best.
bracelet
I mean,
was cool.
yeah, and this is your physique. I mean, by far, I think it was beautiful. I mean, that especially because you came in a little bit smaller too, and
Yeah.
that actually, like, I think that's the look right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks beautiful.
I also tried to downsize a little too going into the show. One, I couldn't train half as hard on my lower body. And two, I just think that it seemed like this year the division was going a different route, like more smaller girls were winning shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when I get on stage that I kind of, not that I overpose, but I have that figure X frame that a lot of the other fitness girls don't have. So I just kind of stand out right away. I wasn't trying to overpose anyone. I just hit my front shot. And I think when other girls stand next to me, they try to overpose and they get too wide, and it just makes me look better. So I don't know.
Definitely.
I
Well,
would have
I
done
want to
that
say,
if I was competing
Yeah.
next to you.
speaking of your figure, I will say, on behalf of the figure division, and now, as things are going to change, I personally would love to see you, like, delve into the figure division again, and, help to set the tone for the, evolution, like the next generation of it, because I do think you have that, the beauty and the muscularity and just the overall, like, shape and symmetry. I think I mean, I know that you're right now the fitness champion. You probably want to ride that wave a little bit longer. But I personally would love to see you be like the tone setter for that division, and it really makes a difference. Whoever's at the top, Sid has really been such a great gatekeeper for that really pretty figure look. And when I saw that you might be going to figure, I was like kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see what you decide to do, but you have a lot of options. So.
Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Wow. So what point during your routine, like what skill did you do that when you were going through it, you're like, I got through it? Do you guys even think like that? I mean, I know, because you can't have even 1 second to not think about the next thing you have to do. Right. So that I do know. But did you have a point where you did that skill and you're like, oh, yes?
It was definitely, so I was having a lot of difficult. First, I got to say one thing. The handstand skill I do at the beginning of my routine, Adela showed me that back in 2023. So that was my opening skill. And that's from Adela's routine in The Vampire. What year was that again, Adela?
Mine was 2009. That's when I came back from my injury.
Okay, 2009.
When
so
I did that.
And in the fitness division, we hold close to our heart our skills. We don't share our skills. So if you start doing other gals' skills, you better give them credit. So Adela,
I like that. I like that.
No, thank you. No, and I pretty much, like, I said, you can do this. Like, you need to walk. You need to get in. And when she got injured, I even told her, I said, listen, you know what I did when I was injured, because I couldn't train anything else. I just work on my handstand skill. So I was able, like, my routine was completely different than what it ended to be, because I just ended up putting like that press going in and then walking it. And I was like, when she did it, it was like amazing, because it's very difficult to get that high. Yes. Get your legs that high and then walk. Oh, I'm going to walk on my hands with my legs.
Is that the move you're talking about, where you do the handstand and then she comes down and then brings her legs between her arms and then goes into
Yes. So I wanted her to do that. Like, I know you can do these things. So yeah.
So, like, how there's like the Simone Biles, how she gets skills named after her. That's Adela's skill. So I'm very thankful that, Adela shot.
I love that you can do that. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah. She taught me how to do it and everything. And other than her and myself, we're the only ones who can walk on our hands and skills. So that was really cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I think, sorry, go ahead.
So that was the first one. Was that, what about that skill at the time? Because you were saying going through that routine, your mindset, and at different periods like this, some relief.
Yeah.
Yes.
So usually, like in all of my other routines, tumbling, the power moves were my chance to breathe and like, okay, I can do this. But this routine, because I had to switch everything up, like Adela was saying, it was all my handstand work. So all the handstand skills I felt super confident in. But then it was the tumbling and the jumping that really made me like nervous. So, when I finished that tumbling pass, you see me give like an extra, like, yeah, because we did it. So yeah, those like jumping movements was where I could finally like, okay, got it. Next skill.
And when did you, during the journey, incorporate your first back handspring or movement where you put that force and pressure on your knee? You know what I mean? Like, was it 3 months out from the Olympia, 4 months out, 5 months, 2 months?
I think I started flipping. I sent Adela videos too. I'm like, don't show anyone this.
No.
I think it was in July, end of July, I started to do back handsprings in my garage. Mm-hmm. And I got to put a video together because it was scary. Like my husband wouldn't even, I'd be like, babe, come in the garage, like watch me. Like I just watched my first one. And he's like, no, I'm scared. Like you got to do this on your own. And I was like, oh shit. So it was, I'll put a video together of me like the first couple times of doing my flips because it was very scary. I actually did a video of my first back tuck on my YouTube. And I just set the video camera up, my vlog, and I recorded for like, it took me 10 minutes to actually like do the flip. And I was like crying, like, you can't do this. But it was like, so mentally but I ended up doing it. And it just took a lot. But
what about your straddle jumps? Because for me, it was like that. Like once I did the straddle jump, it was like, I think I'm good.
Yeah. The straddle was hard. That was really hard because your groin too, like that whole area, your hamstring, it loses all of its muscle and your leg is just like a little Gumby. It's like you have no control over it. And I think also that's another reason why I got good at handstands because I lost so much muscle. So it's easier to do like all your handstand work and your flexibility when you're not walking around 130 pounds shredded, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How much did you weigh for the Olympia this year?
I was like on stage, I want to say like 127.
Wow.
So like, I mean, 127-ish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't, like for you, I don't know if it's because mine was 2008 and it was back like a long time ago. But my recovery, it was really bad. Like my recovery, like I have no leg. Like I was trying to do the Arnold. I injured myself in August. In July, I had surgery in August. And then I wanted to, I was devastated. So I wanted to do something. So I applied for the Arnold and I started training. And I thought in my head, of course, I look good. I look really good. That leg looked good. I sent pictures to different people and nobody wanted to talk. Nobody wanted to say anything. I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like nobody's saying anything. Like, So I guess they were saying like, you tell her. No, you tell her. No, you tell her. So Mike Davis, my coach, he calls me. He's like, hey girl, like, you look like a pirate. You know that? Like, what happened to,
you look like
a pirate. Like I have one leg. It's just it was a stick leg. It was like I got it checked. The upper body was good, but I had one leg that was like really nice and full, and the other one, I didn't like my husband. He's just being nice, and we thought that okay, we look good until that time came, and then it's like hey, I'm not doing the Arnold. So I needed to start eating and go back old school and start training and putting weight, eating a lot of food. And then that leg came back. And then that's when I finally, then I think a year later, I did the Olympia. So
we honest people around us. Basically, I want to address someone has said, not surprised Wendy wants to see Missy figure division biased much. Yeah, I actually am biased. I just want to say, yeah, I'm biased. I am. That's literally, you're 100% right on that. I just want to say.
Well, you and I have like similar physiques. You know, we have like the X frame. So it would be cool, you know, like, because we are more like on the, like, I want to say petiter side compared to like some of the bigger girls in the division. So I really think it's also who you stand next to, you know?
It is.
So
your shape is so impressive. You know what's crazy about your shape is I don't know how, and I talk about this to Lenda, but like in fitness, and Adela disagrees with me on this, so but in fitness, it's like you have to train skills that develop muscles that throw your physique out of balance. You know, in order to do like the flipping and the holds and stuff like that, you're naturally going to develop, you know, thicker obliques, thicker traps, like things that kind of take your shape a little bit out of the X-frame shape. And so with athletes, like you see CrossFit athletes, gymnasts, runners, you know, performance athletes, they don't have like X-frame shapes because the muscles that you need to do well in those things are the muscle groups that throw your shape off. But you have that crazy X-frame shape. It's like when we're in figure, we're training for aesthetics, not for performance. So to blend the two, it's like a really very rare, unique thing. Somebody who has the crazy X-frame and performs. So that's a thing that is always so fascinating with me, with you, you know?
Yeah. So ever since I was like 17 years old, you know, watching Adela on YouTube, her fitness routines, watching Nicole Wilkins, I knew I wanted to be either Miss Fitness Olympia or Miss Figure Olympia. It was one or the other. And I just love training. So I do think that when I go on stage, like I'm going for figure and I'm going for fitness. So I want to look the part of both. I take my training very seriously. Even when I was younger, I think because I was always doing like compound movements, whether they were deadlifts or squatting, I've built this physique. So I don't know. I would encourage the girls in fitness right now. Like, of course, our core is 3/4 our routine round, but it's a bodybuilding show, and you gotta like target the audience. So the audience is majority of the people are there to see the men's open. They want to see bodybuilders. They're there to see professionals. So if you're just coming in like half-ass with your physique and thinking you're going to get by on your routine, sorry guys.
That's okay. So this is all a great conversation. We had this with Adela. So let's talk about the physique round and it's a bodybuilding competition. And that's what's really impressive. The fact that you can even think of going and competing in the Olympia figure and doing well says a lot as to why you won the Ms. Olympia Fitness 3 times, because it's not just about your performance, it's also about your physique. So I know Adela, she has some opinions.
Adela's passionate about this one. Let's let Adela chime in on this because I know she's passionate about this.
Well, I just feel it's like it's bodybuilding. I mean, when I first started competing, I remember going to a show and Lenda was there, and I'm like, because I used to see her in the magazines, and that's what drew me into started training. And back then it was the Miss Fitness America pageant, right? And I saw this girl, like, I want to do that. So I just saw a poster. I mean, I have no clue what I was doing. I took a magazine and I wrote a diet, and I got myself ready, and I got myself ready in my house in Puerto Rico. And back then you don't have nothing, no social media, no internet. So I went and competed, and I fell in love with the sport. And but that was the main thing for me. It was the physique. Like I think one of the first person that I saw was Mia Finnegan, and I saw her in this magazine, and she's doing this split, and she's doing all these beautiful things. Like I want to do that. I always liked getting attention when I was younger. And it was nice, and I just think the physique round is very important. And when they always trying to find ways to bring more people to fitness, but I just feel like to be a fitness athlete, you got to have a different mentality. It's like you really have to love this. And I think a lot of the girls, whenever they took the physique round out, and then they were just doing the routine in the NPC level, they were, it was hard because this girl, I mean, how would somebody feel like if they will take the physique round all the way for the Olympia, and all you see is this, the girls are not going to be in good shape flipping around. It's like, it's not the same. So the physique round is so important, and a lot, I mean, the girls do love it. I mean, I love watching Missy training hard. Like, she inspired me. Like, when I see her, like, I wanted to learn how to do vacuum. I was talking about that, and I said, that's one of the things about the new generation now that you see, like, it's a different way of training, because I was always afraid of doing like deadlifts or those compound movement. And after I retire now, it's like I do them all the time in my body. I don't have a thick waist. Because we use our core all the time, and those are the things that I didn't understand when I used to try to do a straddle jump. My choreographer used to tell me, you need to use your core, and I'm like, but I'm just bringing my legs up. He said, no, everything is come from your core.
Right.
I could never. I mean, I could not do straddle jump. I could not do anything. I didn't have any background, so I taught myself a lot of things. And then once I finally hired a choreographer, like he was, like I think my last year competing, that just when I became that athlete, that I didn't, like, it was just, like your mind, you just get on stage and you just go. Before, I used to get so nervous. I used to get so scared. I used to get intimidated by the other girls because everybody's just on stage, and doing all these flips. And I always felt like the gymnasts always felt like they were better than, because, I know I was criticized all the time because they're like, well, she's not a gymnast, but I brought something different. And that's what fitness is about. You could become an actress. So
yes,
like the fitness routine that Missy did, she had to, I mean, she put that thing together. I mean, I know all the work that went into putting that costume, and that's just the same thing that we do, because when you're at that top, you have to just think outside the box, and you got to bring it to a different level. And that's the difference before a champion and the person that is going to continue to try to compete and they don't listen. But that was the thing that I respected about Missy, that I said, look, this is what you need to do. And she would just, okay, tell me how to do it. And she even sent me her schedule, how she was doing things. And I'm like, that's awesome, because that's exactly like how, I used to do things. So it's just like that. The fitness mentality is completely different. You really, really have to love it in order for you to get in that studio. And I was telling them, Missy, about the difference between the hardwood floor and the soft floor, like, and I also see Missy, like, she will do backflip in their backyard. I'm like, okay.
Not anymore.
You said not anymore? Okay.
Yeah. Missy, I have a question for you. Okay. So I noticed you wore the same outfit. Okay. But you modified it a little bit. What I have been wanting to know, was there something going on with your outfit last year? And what my theory, I thought maybe your outfit may have, like, I know this is a crazy theory. I thought maybe trying to like hold everything in might have like been one of the reasons why your tumbling pass was, you struggled with it. And then seeing you modify your outfit, I've been like dying to know what your outfit decisions were based off of?
Yeah, so that's a good question.
Yeah.
My suit designer, she had just like reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want me to put some like straps in between your costume and we'll bling it up and make it look nice?" I was like, "Yeah, cool." So there was really no like negative or anything to it. Honestly,
Yeah.
Wendy, my tumbling pass, it was just a freak accident. Like the knee just,
yeah.
it just
Mhm.
it
You
just
know how that
went.
is as a fan, you're just grasping straws. Like, was it this? Was it that? And so
Right.
here to talk to you directly and ask you,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, sometimes freak accidents just happen.
Yeah, it
I
was
can
just
put my
my
crazy theories to rest.
Yeah, so how long do you guys practice in the actual costume that you will wear on stage? Because I know that would have to be important. If you're practicing and you have on let's say it has sequins and you don't practice in that suit and then you put that suit on and you know how sequins scratch you? So you have to, right? So I already know. I mean, that was one of the first things, like when I saw you performing, I thought, okay, how long do they practice in the actual costume?
Adela,
I used to get mine. I need to get them at least 2 weeks before. And then if I had to make, I mean, I remember going with my mom because it didn't fit right. I got, I think one year, my last Olympia, I ended up wearing the same costume I wore in 2008, 2011, I believe. And nobody even noticed because it was kind of like around closer to the same theme. But it's like, it's so important, to practice in it. Cause I remember some of the outfits, like the vampire outfit. Oh my God, that took me. I had to tell the girl, like, I just don't like this cut. Like, it was just kind of weird. So
yeah, because you guys are on stage spreading your legs and all.
Yeah.
You have to know and be confident that you're not giving away.
No, so you have to, exactly, you gotta feel comfortable in it. And like from one of the Olympia, I remember going, my mom will help me fix it, and we have to go to the hobby shop to get the flowers, all the stuff. And sometimes we put things together too. But I mean, for me, it was very important. Like I will be sometime in that aerobics room for 6 hours. I mean, like that was pretty much full-time job. And it was like until I was able to feel confident, with the outfit and that routine, So, I love this thing, man. Every time I see that, I cry. It's like,
this is my favorite routine. I like do voiceover.
Because it's the one where I came back from my injury, and it's like I remember getting tired, and I'm like, I gotta finish this. And one of my best parts, is when I was walking, and I said, I am back. No one ugly allowed. And I'm going. It's like the little voices, and it was just amazing. And I miss the stage. It's just every time I see the girls, I get very emotional.
Last year when you're gonna come back.
Did you?
I know.
Did you even practice with the fangs?
Oh yeah, girl, I did. Like that was when it says, "Let's go straight to number one," and then it's like, and also the guy who did my choreography, when he came back, he's like, "Oh my God, this routine is completely different." I know.
People talk about your showmanship because you said, you don't have to have a strong gymnastics background in order to compete in fitness. And you've admitted you don't have a strong gymnastics background, but the thing that always brought you to the top is really your ability to really have that showmanship. You were a performer, and when you stepped on stage, you just grabbed everybody in your world, and it captivating. Like, you can't take your eyes off of Adela when she goes on the stage. There's not crazy gymnastics moves. You have crazy strength moves for sure, but it doesn't have to be this crazy gymnastics routine. I think you were one of the pioneers of people realizing oh my gosh, like it could be an awesome show. It doesn't have to be a crazy gymnastics routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is also, like I was talking about for fitness, that what the girls don't understand, like you just don't have to be the best in everything. There's other things that go into that. Like that's why with Missy, like she gets back to the sport. She's always there. She's promoting the sport, and that's very important as well. So, it's just fitness is amazing. And I was telling Missy the other day, it's like, because I know she got a tattoo.
Did you?
So
yeah.
I'm sorry that I wasn't, but
Tell us
I was
about
like,
it. She's gonna show us. Okay.
So
that's freaking awesome.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So I go, what's going to happen what's going to happen when you win the next one and next one and next one, like let's say, oh, okay, I saw it. You got the numbers on the
numbers. Tallying it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
No, I think honestly, Missy, your comeback was incredible, and
yes,
it was. I wasn't able to go, but trust me, I was at home and I was stick to that computer watching it. And when you finish your routine, when you came out, I was crying because I know how it feels. And when you finish, I'm like, yes, this is awesome because I can see it. And we were talking about it last week. We saw it on your face. You're like, yeah, you said, I did this.
Right.
And one of the other thing is, I believe that injuries kind of change you to become a better athlete, because as fitness competitor, when we on top, we don't think this stuff can happen to us.
Yeah.
And when I got injured, I remember the girls, like people like, but can you just glue it on and like go and compete? But it's you, Adela, you're not supposed to get injured. And it was a free injury. Actually, I was just doing a kick and my knee just buckled.
Wow.
So, like that was totally different for her, because I know like being to go on that stage. And other thing was like, she didn't get to get on stage before the Olympia. At least I was able to, so I was a little bit more confident. So, it takes a lot of different mentality to do that. And I really congratulate you on that. You did amazing. Super proud girl.
Tell us about your mindset, like, because it's, like you said, it really starts upstairs. I mean,
wait. Tell us about the talk with your husband. How was everything? Because she got this funny video that she did at the airport with her husband, and I was watching when they were flying back. And her husband, he's amazing. Like I never hear him. Like I know him, just talking to him like messages, but I don't know. I never hear him talk. And it was so funny. I was laughing because he's so laid back and calm. And he's like, it was like I was living with a robot, It's like,
yeah. I mean, it was like, I guess the mindset, I don't want to say I was like delusional in a way, because, coming off of like, two-time Miss Fitness Olympia, two-time Arnold Classic champ, now I'm trying to come back after this crazy injury when I couldn't walk for like 16 weeks, had to learn how to do everything again. So I'm telling myself, like, you got this, stay positive, everything's going to be okay. But then physically, my knee is like, no, we're not okay. So I was like so conflicted all the time. And I don't know, things just didn't really click until probably like 3 weeks out. I have a really good physical therapist. He's actually in Canada though. And we do everything online. His name's Matt Nickel. He works with like NFL players, NHL, all types of professional athletes, but he helped like build my confidence in a way where I was able to execute like simple exercises, even just like a pistol squat. But I would do it banded, so I would hold on to something and squat down because I couldn't actually like do the eccentric. But just, little wins every day. I was literally taking it day by day, hour by hour. Honestly, guys, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I can do anything now. Like
Oh, that's what I was gonna. So this is the moment right here. And we had to like get through a little bit to get to this moment. I'm sorry. But this is the moment where you're top 2 and you're on the edge of your seat. And I can't even imagine what is going through your mind right now. So walk us through your mind right now.
Well, I was like, I can't believe it because I had zero expectations going into Olympia. Obviously, a lot of people wanted me to win. You know, the pressure was there, but I actually didn't feel any pressure. I just was going out there for me.
Nice.
So when Bob called my name for first place and again, or once again, I forget what he says. I literally just felt like the last year has paid off. Okay. Like all been worth it. All of this trial, all of the pain, all of like the mental anguish. It's all been worth it. And how cool was it that I was able to document everything on social media? Maybe not live in the moment, but eventually, you know, I was starting to put stuff out as I mentally felt better. But gosh, I'm like out of breath there. I'm like, wait, am I gonna win? Am I winning? Oh gosh.
So crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. And this was a tough lineup too. I mean, you know, Jacqueline and Taylor, they brought it, and you know, it was. There were some really amazing athletes here that you were up against with crazy, awesome routines. I mean, this was a star-studded lineup to have won the Fitness Olympia. So this is no joke that you won this title this year. It was a really, really awesome lineup.
Yeah. And you know what was cool? I was able to win it without having, you know, the Missy big, powerful tumbling. I did it going back old school style with the handstands, the power moves. So, you know, for the fitness gals watching right now, work on those power moves and your strength holds, because we're bringing it back to how fitness was. You know, that's how it started. The pike holds, the straddle holds. Not saying you can't tumble, but I personally don't know if the audience really knows how difficult the tumbling is, the risk reward. I mean, I can say it personally now, it's not there. The whole big tumbling for me, I will not do again, but best believe I'm coming with even better handstand skills for next.
Yeah, because you changed that I was talking when we talked last week, Wendy, she thought that was the same move, that was the same pass that you made, and I said no, she changed it. Yeah, I mean, because the one that you did last year, it was incredible. I mean, she just went in the air like, I don't know, 20 times, and then she flipped around, and then like, you know, it's like,
I can keep track of how many times she flies in the air. She's just flying.
It was like a double tumbling pass, and in the second pass, I do like a whip back. But in the whip back, when I hurt myself, the knee just, it's time to go, and it unfortunately snapped. So
yeah. I think if we look at the champions, the Olympia fitness champions, like Susie Curry, Whitney Jones, Oksana, like none of you guys, it's like the performance and the entertainment and the skill. Like nobody was on there being like, Adela, you were known for like being a gymnast, right? So
I was at a gym.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that when I look at the winners, like Oksana, when Oksana's up there, she'll perform, she'll do something, and she'll make it magnificent, and she's just so entertaining, and she captures the audience. So it's not about being a gymnast and having those types of skills.
Yeah, because Oksana never did backhand. She used to be scared, and then she started adding it. I used to do back handsprings, and they keep getting worse to the point that, I mean, I would start the back handspring, and I would start in one corner and then I just finish like all the way over. It's like I'm weird.
But you made it look awesome.
No, but I ended up taking like for my last Olympia, like I used to go to the aerobics room and I would be there and I was like so anxious. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to do. I'm so scared of doing this back handspring because people keep telling me I look bad. You know, it was a one fitness competitor. She's like, "You back handspring is really bad," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm winning, so okay." But at the end, like and I think it's just like I just block and I just change everything to what it was comfortable to me. And I think that's the year that when my choreographer came back, he's like, okay, well, it's not the same thing that we were doing, but it's good. So no problem. It was awesome though, because I felt comfortable. I don't need it to do gymnastics to win, but I was looking back, like I was really fast. Like everything was super sharp and I love adding sound effects to make everything look bigger. So, I remember seeing that, like, I couldn't move like that, when I try to come back. No. My body say, girl, no, you're good.
So 8-time Olympia champion. You have nothing to prove, honey.
I know, exactly.
So would you be one of the first, and probably only, I'm not sure, that's won the Olympia title, that you have a very strong gymnastics background? Because Susie, I don't think.
No, Susie was very, very like. Susie was. She
was. I don't remember her.
Oh yeah, she was. She used to walk in her hands too, like a mania. Like she would turn all the way around.
So,
like
Ryan Ryan, Mia Finnegan, they had really strong gymnastics.
I think Jen Hendershot too, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Hendershot was a lot of.
Hendershot. Yeah.
Yeah, Jen was. She was. She was very energetic, and her straddle jump were like over the top, just like Missy. Like their straddle jump, they almost touched their ears. Yeah. I'm like, okay, good for you, girls. But yeah, so Jenny was also like that. She was a cheerleader, so she had a strong cheerleader background. So it's kind of different. But Kelly, yes, and then Susie, big time gymnastics, and when Monica won, Monica was another one that she had to learn. Like she learned how to tumble. Okay. Yes, she had to learn how to tumble as well. And the other girl that won it, I don't remember her name. Oh, I mean, Carol never won it. Did she win the Olympia? Carol Semple? No, she didn't.
Semple? No,
she was the Arnold. It was the Arnold, I believe. But but yes, it was.
Yeah, and I'm making the point because a lot of people that are interested in fitness, but they're afraid. You guys can tell them, explain to them, and hear, Missy, you making that statement and putting it out there that, I know how to do those skills, but like in the future, I'm not trying to necessarily do that.
Yeah, because the judges definitely rewarded me, right, with the handstand, the power moves. I do think it's important for girls to get their own identity on stage. There's a type of showmanship that you develop as you keep doing shows. I think it's great when you hire a choreographer, but there's one choreographer in particular that does a lot of gals routines, and it all looks the same. Who's doing that routine, and I would highly recommend these girls. That's okay if you use that person, but find yourself, because I don't want to watch a show and be like, oh, that's so-and-so. Like, no, find your own routine, your own style. And you'll just get into like a niche, and people will
really good advice
for it.
Yeah, that's great. Great advice. I mean, and I'm going to say, with that said, I think that really wraps it up, Missy.
Yes.
Missy, do you want to say, we'll let you have the last word to say whatever you want to your fans and your followers and everybody here watching that loves you so much.
Yeah. So I just want to thank everyone who follows and supports me. This has been such an amazing year. And of course, I have to thank the IFBB, the MPC, the CPA, and Jake Wood for just giving us females a platform, especially in such a male-driven industry. So, Jake, upping our prize money and everything that he has done for us, it's truly amazing. And I am able to live my dream and have an amazing career because of it. So again, thank you everyone so much who supports me. If you want to follow me, Missy Truscott on Instagram, Missy Truscott on YouTube, and that's my website as well.
Wow. Let's see your shirt. I want to see your t-shirt.
Oh,
yeah.
Check it out. Check it out. Oh, yeah. The shark.
The shark.
Yes.
These are on my website too.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well, and thank you, ladies, for bringing us this message out there. And congratulations, Missy. Congrats. 3 times, 8 times Ms. Olympia over here. I have BB Figure Pro and Wendy Fortino. And thank you to everybody out there who follow us and watch. And if you have not yet, please subscribe to Olympia TV. We love you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.